right, welcome again to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. Internets are weird, and so are we. So we're back. Insert joke about Adam belching, and now we're all caught up. Okay, so we're back to Alien. We're continuing our Cinders of Heaven campaign, Chapter 4, colony stuff, shenanigans, etc. We ended up in a weird place, and now we will potentially explore that place, and this could be the last session. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Try.
Anyhow, why just jump in? Let's just jump in. It's not wasting any time, because who knows when this internet's going to go down. So, summary. Last time around, you all finished exploring a hut along the western coast of the continent that your colony of New Joy is on. And it was a hut that was built by one of Seekson's advanced colony team. You all work for Seekson, a woman by the name of Hana Al-Farsi. You found some data, you found some objects, you took all that kind of stuff, you found all sorts of this little cave stuff and things like that to learn about some of the ecology of the system and and it looked like at least one or two people were trying to live off grid. So that's kind of where we were the last session or two. Dr. Morgan, the surviving xenobiologist, awoke and shared a questionable drink with Krish before crabs started to swarm over the rover. But fortunately, Michelle was able to scatter them, losing Scooter's cutting torch in the process, which is totally not going to be useful to them in so many different ways where they're at. That's a shame. Eventually, you just started traveling up the west coast because you all had another destination in mind, and that's when you eventually arrived at the face in the cliff. So there were these images that Arthur York, the head of Seekson, back at the colony, showed Jack Garrett. It is this enormous stone cut that was the stone cut face into the side of the cliff, has this broken mouth, large enough to fit multiple rovers side by side. All these little tendrils of ice were snaking and spiraling up and down the cliff face, and it was meeting at the mouth and kind of disappearing inward. You rested for a few hours, and then you made the climb. You left your working Joe bound in some, whatever the hell it is, the climbing tether thing that you had, and you brought Dr. Morgan with you. Mouth was enormous. Scooter, you quickly noticed that there was engineering involved. This wasn't just like a basic carving. There clearly was engineering going on, and it was more of a chute than a cave, like it was actually carved out. And you saw signs periodically of some processed metals and plastics and things like that. So you followed the chute, it was down this angle. You stepped over these ice cables and stuff that were filtering in from outside. You found some flickering symbols that kind of faded away on these two tall panels along the wall of that chute. And eventually, that chute flattened out, and you found yourselves in what appears to be a massive hangar. And there is a single horseshoe-shaped shuttle. And the design is unlike anything any of you have ever seen, any of you have ever read about, anything that's ever been on the market. It is absolutely unknowable to the group of you. You can see all these different ice cables have kind of wrapped themselves around the shuttle and kind of crushed it, like at least the cockpit, like it was a constrictor stake. Scooter braved the shuttle, climbed up, took a look inside, and he saw what looked like a humanoid-shaped body, albeit too large, and it was frozen and constricted and probably dead. And then you slipped, you fell 20 feet down to the ground, and as he hit the ground started to rumble. That was just coincidence and fun timing. It wasn't like Scooter's got a big ass like that.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I got that BBL.
And then you started hearing these distant clanks and crashes that were erupting from somewhere up that chute that you had traveled down. So to start off, where we're at, you are in this hangar still. Scooter, you're getting up. You're fine. No issues. Just a point of damage or two, I think it was. We have two people in here who actually have light. Otherwise, it is incredibly dark. You haven't really seen any signs of power other than like this fading, flickering symbols. And Dr. Morgan's with you. And that's that. So I gave you all a map. You can see a map. It's just a generic map for us to sort of, comport ourselves. Everything's going to basically be theory of the mind. But that's where we're at. So I turn it over to you. What do you guys do?
After I catch my breath, I will inform the team that there's in fact a very large corpse in there.
I would like to take a look at that. I trust you. A corpse, I'm sure you know what a corpse is, but I would like to take a closer look.
No, it's a very large corpse, and someone other than me should look at it, because I don't know what I'm doing with corpses.
Well, we know who it is.
This is not someone that would have come here on the thing.
Chris is gonna look over to Dr. Morgan and say, Doc, you should come too.
Okay. She will, absolutely. She is a xenobiologist. Like, that is her specialty. Like, not, it's like she's supposed to be an expert. The reason she was with you is because she actually has knowledge of, or at least can study, the animal life here. And the other doctor, whatever the hell her name was, she's dead now, who cares? Anyhow, she was more of a fauna or flora kind of person. She studied plant life. So yeah, she'll go with you. Sure.
Sweet.
Okay.
That was what I thought I remembered. I was hoping I remembered right, so thank you.
Yeah. It was Doctor something. Doctor not alive anymore.
Doctor Biology.
Doctor dead.
Michelle. So Michelle will kind of climb up and then give the doc kind of a hand up so that we can kind of both take a look at this corpse here.
I'll act as like a base, kind of helping lift them part of the way up, assisting in their climb.
Okay. Michelle, go ahead and give me a roll. This is a mobility test. And I'll say...
Essentially, there'll be one light inside the thing now, because I'm with them, and one light outside because Scooter's outside.
Well, I think Scooter was actually giving them a hand as a base. So I think both the lights are right by the shuttle. And because Scooter's giving you a base, go ahead and take a +2 on the climb roll as well. On that mobility check.
Much appreciated, but I just got the 2 successes from my original roll.
Okay. All right. So you climb on up, and we'll say with 2 successes, we can use that other success to just turn around, give the doc a hand, and she'll climb up as well. So when you look inside, Michelle and Dr. Morgan, the 2 of you are on the top of this thing. Everybody else is on the ground now. I'm assuming someone's going to have to climb up, though, because there is no light.
I was going to go with, is that okay?
Yeah, give me a mobility test to pop up. And if Scooter's still giving help, just take the +2 for that. And we'll go from there. All right.
Oh, sorry, I did not.
No, you're good. 1 success is all you need. You're good. Climb on up. Okay, so now there's 3 of you. Now I want to... You all kind of... you're all Alien fans, so you kind of know when I say horseshoe shape what I'm talking about, but in our little fictional world, your characters don't know this, but it's a horseshoe. It's not an enormous horseshoe, but I would say that those of you who know anything about ships, it looks very much like a shuttle, like a ground to orbit kind of shuttle. But it's still enormous. It's still very, very big, and it's probably a little bit bigger than the types of shuttles that you were, getting kind of bust down to the surface from orbit just a couple days ago. But I would say the 3 of you, so Krish, Dr. Morgan, and Michelle, you're able to climb on top of the highest most point. And with your mobility roll, you can sneak across and get over to where there is a seam in the exterior where the ice has, again, constricted and just effectively just ripped the metal. And if you would like, you can climb inside.
I mean, this is just... And so Michelle is just sort of looking back to Krish and to Dr. Morgan. The ice has ripped this apart. I'm going to go take a look, Doctor. If you're going to take a closer look at that, I'm going to go that way. So she'll kind of go into that.
Okay. So you're going into the seam and you're going into the ship?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Morgan's going to come in with you. There's no reason for her not to. That's why she's up here. So you hop in, and again, we'll roll over your mobility test. She'll follow in. It's very slippery because everything's covered in ice. Even like there's the cables that are constricting everything, but there's also just like a sheath of ice almost on everything. It's cold. And the 2 of you hop inside. And what you see is a kind of a platform with a reclining seat in which this humanoid figure has kind of reclined back into. You can see it's been damaged from the constriction But the body still seems to be largely intact. But you also notice that there are a few panels here and there that don't seem to have any power. So it's very dark in here. Krish might be shining the light through the seam to give you some semblance of vision. But Michelle, go ahead and give an observation test. And I'll say with Morgan there, go ahead and take a +2 on this. So I don't have to roll for her.
That was a crap roll. Cool. I just rolled a face hugger, but I'm keeping it together. So really, she's just like, what the hell is this? This is nope. This is not. Krish, can you just this way, not that way? And so she's just kind of like just getting a little snippy.
Okay.
But she is unable to see what she needs to see.
So you failed is basically what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the one thing, also all of you should take 1 point of stress, by the way, from the rumbling of the earth and the sounds of something closing up the shuttle, just the situation. So just take a stress. Even with a failure, I'll say one thing you definitely notice is that the body is sort of adorned with some kind of semi-translucent, almost tinted black in a way, kind of like almost like sunglasses in terms of that, how you can kind of see through it, but it's not, fully visible. Some sort of covering, right? Like it's not like your vac suits. It's not like the material of your vac suit. Whatever it is, it seems a little strange. And the head is wearing, it doesn't look like a normal human head. Instead, it's like this oversized, almost elephantine structure to it, where it almost looks like there's this coasting down trunk from the forehead, sloping down, and then kind of coming to a stop below the chin where the sternum would be. And you also would be able to tell that they're at least 8 feet tall. And they've been wrapped up in this ice cable, and they've been essentially crushed in half. They haven't fully separated, but you can tell the central portion of the body where the stomach or the waist would be has been effectively flattened. And so the legs and the upper torso seem to have more mass. And that's what you see.
We have got to get closer. Krisha, Dr. Morgan, this it's, and she's sort of trying to yell out so that everyone can hear. This is 8 feet tall, and it just we got to get this thing off so that we can look at it closer. It was the ice cables that have it around its midsection.
So Krish has been providing some semblance of overwatch while the two much smarter people are actually doing the smart people thing.
I don't think you would be able to do that, to be honest. If you have a light and you're shining it down into the seam so that they can see, there's really no way you could use it then for you to see.
Oh, okay.
You know
I wasn't visualizing.
You literally have 2 lights, and it's there's these 2 tiny little pockets of light by Scooter and by Krish. Otherwise, it's absolutely black in here.
So dark.
Okay. What do I need to do to get physically closer to Michelle now that she is?
Just tell me you're hopping inside. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm moving as close as I can.
You've done the hard part of climbing up, and so you're literally on the rooftop. And so if you wanted to hop inside, it's literally just sliding into it. And that's fine. So now the 3 of you are inside. You see everything that I just described. Before we continue, Scooter, Jack, and Skeeter, you're on the floor. You've just heard this rumbling. Scooter's got a light. The women just went and climbed up and have crawled into that spaceship. What are the 3 of you doing?
Mr. Girl says, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back.
We only got a couple lights here, and there's a part of me that considers we might want to go look at what that sound is, make sure we're not getting locked in. I do agree with that. But Scooter's got the only other light here.
Yeah, if that's the plan, they'll be all right. Krish is with them.
She's tough.
Mr. Girl, like, absent-mindedly reaches towards your light.
Hands off.
Oh.
I already lost a cutting torch. I ain't losing a flashlight.
Yes, of course. Forgive me. It was a lot of sorts.
It's all right. This is far away from your desk. I understand.
What are we checking out? The exit?
You said we got to go back. We're just following your orders, buddy.
Yes.
I assume we were checking to make sure we're not locked in here.
Hey,
Yes.
I mean, if you leave it to me, I'm going to sniff around the outside of this here ship. See
I'm
what
going
I
to try and get myself inside of it. But,
I
you
mean,
know.
they're inside of it. But if we want to go check the exit, let's go check the exit.
Wait. If something killed whatever was inside it, then there was a body. Doesn't that mean that there's potentially something else in there that could kill the rest of our crew?
I don't think so. It looked like it was them ice tentacles, like maybe it just put in park a little too long, took a little nap, and like
I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that maybe somehow there's like some sort of like messed up living ice, which is almost what them big ass space turtles was. Remember? They was basically ice. And maybe there's some shit that's like local, and then we got this here thing that maybe we got more than one set of alien bullshit, right? And the two different sets of alien bullshit is like, fuck you, no fuck you, right?
So we're the third fuck that's been...
Yeah.
Right, now we're the third fuck. We're...
Yeah, there's this planet's native fuck, and then there's the first set of explorers, which is that dead dude up in that ship. It's hella tall. And then we're the third. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? Okay,
Checking the
that's
exit.
what we're doing. Okay, so the three of you group up. You head back the way you came. Wide chute. And you can see it's wide enough to fit this shuttle. Like, you would probably surmise that the shuttle comes in and gets shot out from in this little hangar. And you travel up, but you realize very quickly that there's no light coming down. Like, when you were coming down this decline, there was still light coming from the outside. Now, eventually it faded, but you never see any of it. And when you get about halfway up the incline, you realize that some kind of blast door maybe has closed, and it prevents like you climbing up the second half of this slope. And you can see that there's literally no seam, no rupture, nothing. It's just, it almost looks like a perfectly sealed door. However, if anybody wants to roll observation or heavy machinery, you might be able to learn some more.
Yeah, I'll check it out with heavy machinery if someone else wants to take observation.
I'll try some observation.
Okay.
I'll do observation.
Get all them dice. I pull one success.
Oh, god dang.
Hey man, eyes peeled, y'all.
Okay. So with heavy machinery scooter, you would probably be able to conclude that there are multiple doors of this kind probably along the route up. And you can, as you're trying to figure out if there's any kind of emergency release or anything like that, you do find that on one side of the wall, like on the right wall when you're staring at this blast door, you can see like a panel has essentially been ripped out of what looks like some kind of gelatin, and there is some kind of alien tech laying on the ground. And while you don't necessarily know what it is, you know what broken shit looks like, and it looks like something just broke it, and it's just sort of ripped into pieces. But you do notice like the wall itself is almost dripping this kind of gel, this goo.
Okay.
Skeeter and Geralt, the two of you probably look for any signs along the door of like a weak point or anything like that. And neither of you so I'll say Geralt with the one success, you find no signs of there being any kind of seam. It almost looks, again, like everything just sort of melds together. Skeeter, one of the things you notice with your 3 successes, and then you can ask him a follow-up if you want, is that it almost feels like there's a sheath of ice that has covered pretty much the entirety of the door. And as you're watching, you can actually see the growth of that sheath of ice is expanding at a pace that is visible to your eye. It's not like super fast, but you can see it's very clearly growing.
There's no seam on this door.
You look, guys, look right here. That ice is fucking like, I'm telling you, we got some alien bullshit ice. This is living ice. I'm sure of it now.
I mean, because we know it's not like we're not being harmed by the cold, right? So it's not cold enough for ice to form that quickly. So
this is weird,
some
man.
Fucking alien bullshit living ice is what it's got to be.
It's got to be living ice. Space ice.
Also, the control panel to open these doors is broke as shit. Looks like it got damaged in the closing action, and like you can see it's got its brain jellies all over the wall. More alien stuff. But it's fine, you know, when they say like God closes a door, he opens a window.
And so where's this window? Because I would really like to leave.
Okay,
where the window is. We're gonna have to go find it.
You all remember earlier, y'all shined a light on the goop, and then for a little bit you can't press on the ice that was over the goop and it responded, but it only did it for a second, right?
Perhaps we did this ourselves.
So, like, I'm just saying, like, maybe we shine our flashlight on it, but we would have like 1 or 2 shots to maybe just fucking guess at what to do.
That sounds viable, but I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to say anything negatively against the two of you, but like the best one who's got a chance at randomly pushing buttons is either in that spaceship or it's me. So maybe we go sniff around a little bit. I mean, we're already trapped in here.
Yeah.
See if we can get some clues, some context on
That's a good point.
Which buttons we got to slap quick as shit when we shine that light on it.
That's a good point. That Dr. Morgan, she's supposed to be good at knowing this Xeno bullshit, right? So
after she's done poking at that corpse, I bet she's going to be smarter still.
Good point.
Either of you good at puzzles?
Hell no. I had a Rubik's Cube once, and then they're like, solve it, and I just shot the damn thing.
I was so close to solving it too, but you just shot it straight out of my hands.
Straight out of your hands.
All right. So as that conversation continues, we'll cut back to the shuttle. We're inside now, all 3 of you, and you can see that, you know, Dr. Morgan is very fascinated with this figure. And as she's not touching anything yet. She is just sort of observing. Her face is kind of closed. She's looking here and there. She's frequently asking for more light, and she'll say, "It looks like a suit. I don't think that right there." And she points at the head. That appears to be perhaps their version of a vac suit, a helmet, perhaps. Michelle, grab the other side. And so she's like, carefully now, preserve it. And
yes, of course.
The 2 of you very carefully like pull this helmet off, and you set it down. And when you put it down and look back up, and as the light, Krish, is shining down on it, you can see that there likely was a head here at some point. But what's left seems to have been long, sort of drained or sort of withered to the point where it almost looks like a sort of dried up raisin. And like there's no real detail in a face or a mouth. You don't really see eyes or anything like that. But you see a very pale, withered sack that was probably a head. And it's just... And it's not like dripping or anything, but you can tell there's like a sheen over top of it, like it's coated with something. But whatever was in here is very much dead.
Dr. Morgan, do you have hypotheses as to what exactly the hell we're looking at here?
Okay. She's going to roll an observation test and try to do an analysis. So for those of you who have not played a scientist, like Dr. Pierce, Dr. Dante Pierce, remember him? The analysis thing, it allows you to essentially try to like make sense of something. But if you fail it, like everybody else takes stress in the area. So if she fails this, the two of you would take stress because she'll be like, I got no fucking clue what this is. And everyone goes nuts.
I don't either. Oh my God.
We're all going to die. Okay, so I would say, first of all, she succeeds. She gets 2 successes, but she has to roll stress. And in doing so, you notice as she's looking and as she's in these close proximity, maybe it's just what she's looking at. Maybe she's like standing next to Krish and relying on Krish so much. Maybe there's some residue of nervousness, but her hand kind of starts to twitch a little bit. But she nonetheless is kind of keeping it together. But just the sheer fact that you can see like a physical reaction to her. The two of you go ahead and increase your stress by 1. You can tell she's starting to get a little nervous.
What?
I don't know exactly what this is. It's clearly bipedal, humanoid. It's been dead for quite some time. Oh God. We'll have to take it with us. We'll have to bring it back to the colony. We'll have to get the labs on it. I want analysis, DNA. I want dating. See how long it's been dead.
Yes,
how long it's been here.
One step at a time. One step at a time.
And she gets a little manic, and she's getting like,
step at a
you
time.
can see, yeah, she's keeping it together, but she's still getting a little manic about this.
So I would like to. I have a counselor talent. So I would like to use my command skill to try to reduce her stress a bit.
Okay. We could do that now, I guess. Like, is that something you would do like right this moment as you're staring at the helmet removed from the alien body, or is this something that might wait till after?
I think she's just.
She's not panicking. She just took a point of stress.
Okay,
that's all it is.
So one step at a time. One step at a time. I think we need to figure out how to extricate this from its current location. Perhaps.
Exactly.
And we figure out all the rest once we get back.
We could get the gentlemen up here, the big dumb ones, and they could carry it out.
Yes.
We'll have to. Do you have that cutting torch? We can cut through the ice here, and that would separate it. We don't want to break it at all, and we actually probably should leave this ring of ice here, so we don't know how damaged the waste is, and if we were to remove it, the body might fall into, and we don't want that.
And Michelle just sort of looks back to Krish.
Cutting torch isn't an option, Doc. What else do you got?
Perhaps Scooter. He is crafty. Maybe he can make something.
Yes.
You were more than money when you said big and dope, and she
I meant the other one.
I have faith in all of our compatriots. I believe that we can solve this problem, but I do think perhaps we might want to look around a little bit more and see what else is here. It seems this isn't going anywhere at the. What did we just find? Are we going to be able to name it?
Well, in a manner of speaking, we'll have to properly categorize it. It might have already even been discovered. There's a whole process to it. That's not what we have to worry about right now. This isn't about credit. This is about. It's a little about a credit.
What's that? All right, we're back. Internet. The desert that I live in, whenever a little bits of rain fall from the sky, the internet goes off. It's really weird. It's just a thing, not a storm, no lightning, just like 3/4 of 3/4 of 3/4 of an inch. So like 3/24. I don't know, really small amounts of water.
Man.
And yeah. So anyhow, let's get back to it. Last thing I remember I heard was Dr. Morgan was trying to instruct on how to extract the body. You said that the cutting torch wouldn't work, and then you said got any other ideas?
Maybe we need to just kind of leave it. It seems like the body's not going to go anywhere. Perhaps we need to see where exactly the gentleman went to and continue our exploration, perhaps?
She'll look at you and I suppose there might be, yes, there's probably more discoveries to be had, but and maybe we can find something that could help us extract this body from here. Yes, but we have to come back for this. This is an amazing find.
No, yes, I know. We have left some amazing finds out, and we didn't collect them, and that was an oversight on our part. I think I need to step away from this body at the moment. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what I'm looking at right now.
Jeff, can you just tell me if the space is big enough to actually have guys in here, or is it only big enough for the three of us and this body?
I mean, there's room for other people to be in here. Yeah, you don't see seats. There's really just the one. You do see some paneling. There also appears to be like a circular station that has been kind of caked over in the back. It's not an enormous space, but yeah, you all could fit in here if you needed.
Okay. I guess my thought was more about having them up here because I think sure that there's some amount of resourcefulness and craftiness that the guys could bring to taking shit out of here, starting with the body. So if there's room for them, I'd like to go and call for them to come up.
Okay, that feels like a completely opposite of what Michelle and Dr. Morgan just said. So like, what then is going to be the plan? To get them up here and to start breaking this down, or like to do the other thing and start exploring? Because those seem like two opposing ideas.
Chris, you're totally right that we will need them to take this body out. I think we haven't gotten very far in though. Perhaps we do a little bit more looking around and then pull this out on our way out.
Chris will come with you. It's clear she doesn't think this is the right idea, but she will come with.
Understood. And so Michelle will kind of get back out. And Chris, can you see your light and see if I can see them?
Sure.
And it's easy to see them because they're the only other light as they are coming forward, and you can probably see them coming back from the chute. And so we'll say, for sake of moving things forward, all six of you are able to communicate once more. If you want to climb back down, you can climb back down. If you want to climb them back up, you can climb them back up. But however you want this to play out. What do y'all say?
I want to get in there, man.
Skeeter, you, Mr. Geralt, you would want to look at this. I just steel yourselves. There's a
big old corpse in there.
Yes, but we've now
human. We know that.
We've now removed its version of a vac suit, and you can see the body. We will need to gather it on our way out. Perhaps we look around a little bit more first.
I mean, it's truly dead.
Oh,
Dr. Morgan
yes.
speaks up. I am fairly certain that it is deceased, and for quite some time.
I mean, I've got flares and I got some prospecting tools. It wouldn't be pretty, but I could chip away at ice.
Well, I mean, I get your enthusiasm for pulling this corpse out right here and now, but also, why don't we just escape and then go back to the camp with everyone and get a full team in here, some archaeologists and some proper tools.
But there's one thing about being able to go do that, remember? We're stuck inside
first.
right now.
I said we escape first.
Right.
Yes,
But they didn't know
make
that.
our way back in. Y'all
Wait,
didn't know that.
fucking
We're
trapped.
trapped.
We're trapped.
We're trapped.
Yes, we are
On a
trapped
scale of
inside.
1 to 10, we're fucked.
Yeah, that
There was a
door,
we came in a very, very, very large opening.
and there was a door that closed right behind us.
And this technology
Oh.
works in ways that we don't understand.
And it's freezing over with ice, and it smashed the control panel.
Right. And the ice is growing at its own weird little rate, like beyond regular ice.
I think
Hey.
What?
Space
Wait.
ice.
We're inside a whole
Mhm.
mouth and face, so we should just go further and see what else there is, because we might find a solution to the problem if we.
Listen,
We might.
Are you
All I'm
recommending
saying
that-
is most things that I know that have a face have a second exit.
Yes. Are you recommending that we go out the nose?
Nah, not
we
that
look,
exit.
we look around more.
I mean,
we
we can
need to
look
look
for a
around further.
nostril.
So I think our number one priority is to get out.
Yeah.
Now, I forget the NPC doctor's name again.
Morgan.
And now, Morgan, were you able to document any of this? You have your camera.
Let's see. I think she's got a voice recorder. She does have a digital camera, so yeah, she was probably snapping some pics, and probably had her voice recorder out, just doing like, you know, the Scully like autopsy, you know, overview as she's kind of like peeling the helmet off and stuff.
Well, now, and then Doc,
I-
well, I want you to take a little core sample or something. Just carve some stuff off of it. That way you at least got some fancy alien genetic material to take back with us.
I do have a
think-
biotesting kit, but it does seem like the body is encased in some sort of suit.
I thought you got the helmet off.
We got the helmet off, but the helmet perhaps was not airtight, and maybe there might be even something better within the suit when we bring it back. It's hard to say. I would suggest that when we are prepared to move it, we keep it intact. That suit has kept it in some semblance of
Yeah,
order.
it's been flavor sealed.
It's been flavor sealed.
Yes.
Like I said.
For scientific integrity,
Right.
we should
Everyone,
try
everyone,
to take this in its
everyone,
form.
please.
I think we
Please.
should. Oh, I'm sorry, Doctor or Mr. Girl.
I understand the excitement. I understand that we feel as if there could be a lost opportunity if we don't do something now. But if we think back 300 to 400 years ago, when we discovered the mummies in
Then we ate 'em.
late 1800s.
I don't think that maths. But then, didn't we eat them all? Are you saying we got to eat this here corpse?
Isn't it 23 something, or am I wrong?
No, I
We'll
think it's
take
more
your
like
math, whatever.
400 or
the-
500 years.
Who
I think
cares
it's
about
Oh,
500
I mean,
years.
I ain't here to do math.
We preserved the bodies and we examined them in their preserved state, did
Centuries
we
ago.
not?
Right.
No, we ate them.
We did not cut a piece off of them to take them home.
Yes.
And if we did,
Yeah.
that could potentially ruin the sample.
That's fair.
Yes,
That's
Mr.
fair.
Grout. Yes, that is scientific work at its finest. Now,
Yes, and
I
it also
completely
means
understand. Mining
that-
is different. Bodies, one
Right.
piece.
Also, this increases our chances of survival, which I am about. So, if we don't go back inside to do anything that puts us at any further risk, our number one priority is escape, because we did take pictures and we have recording and we have eyewitness statements that can be made. And
Our
we
number
already
one
have-
priority is exploration. That is what we
Yeah.
are here. Were we not told to come out to where the face is and explore what this is? We have
I'm-
further to go.
I would like to remind everyone that when like you count numbers down, like our first priority is this, our second priority is that. The number 0 priority, the priority comes before all other priorities, is to survive.
Yeah, if we
So,
die in here, it don't matter what the hell we
Yeah,
found.
those secrets die with us. So let's make
we
like
all
a
saying that
trade.
we should go
Nodding
further in?
vehemently.
Yeah, I mean, I think we
Well-
need to study because we don't understand the controlling thing, what might open the door for us. But maybe if we study some of the control panels that are in here that ain't all fucked up, might give us a better idea how to interact with that. Because if y'all remember, you shine the light on it, you got a little bit of time to interact with it, but you probably got limited interaction. So the
Yes.
more we study in here, the less likely we are to fuck up out there.
Right.
Or-
and nothing bad can happen from trying to open these doors again.
I don't believe that one bit. Or we try and see if there's a window open further in.
I like Scooter's idea. I think to figure out how the building works, we need to look at more of the building.
Yeah.
So-
Gotcha.
Like I
I'm
said,
with you,
there's
Scooter.
a face
We
on
should go
one end,
farther
There's
in.
got to be a butt on the other end of this
Did-
mountain.
Did we?
Or there's
send
other
in-
parts of the face.
Did we send in pups? Didn't we do that?
And we
We
have
did,
a.
but most of what we have is actually from that hut that we found. They had done a lot more than what I had.
Can
Then we should
not-
be following that. We
Can
should
not-
be going. Yes, following. Scooter, lead the way.
I'm leading the way. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going deeper. Is there a
'Cause he's
left
searching
I
for
can
loot.
take?
Who has the pups data?
I get that.
Can we not check that and see if there's any means of entry or exit?
Yeah, I mean, if we are looking at the horseshoe here, probably guess somewhere around over that way is going to be one exit, and somewhere around over that way is probably going to be another exit. They're pretty narrow. Maybe.
Scooter, the first right or the second right?
You always go left first. So if we're in the
Second
room with
right.
the big C, I'm going to walk the perimeter heading in a counterclockwise direction until I find an entrance, which should, when we're looking at, essentially what I'm trying to say, Jeff, is when we're looking at that little funky map you gave me, I want to head towards the right because we're heading down, which would actually be towards our left.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, Jeff, I want to find the rightest room.
The one
The
in the back.
rightest room. Oh, I thought it was the leftist
one-
room. Okay.
You got to remember, we're looking at this map from north to south, but in
Mhm.
real life, or in real game, we're oriented
In real
south to north. So
Okay.
the rightest room is technically the leftist room.
I gotcha.
Okay. So you do recall when you first arrived and shined the light around, you had trouble seeing the light hit the other side
Yeah.
of the space. That's how you knew it was so big. But you did, as some of you were kind of scattered and looking, you did find that there were at least two other pathways out, which matches up with the pup data that you collected from Hannah Al-Farsi's hut. And I would say if that's the case, then there's one kind of in the middle of the southern wall, we'll just call it, of this hangar. And then there's another one that's in the southeast of this southern wall. And that's at least what's on the pup data. But again, the pup data is limited. They did mention that in the notes that they had for it that it was limited as well. So, but that's what you see.
All right.
So it's up to you. So there's one to the southeast and there's one to the south, basically.
Southeast.
I
Okay.
agree. Yep.
That's the
Agreed.
most left.
Okay.
The right way is not the right way.
Right way's the wrong way. Left way's the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you head over to the southeast, you see that it's not an open tunnel. It's a recessed, what looks to be some kind of doorway that has a protective shield on it. It doesn't look like a blast door the way the other one was. This one seems to be like it's not quite fully in its position. Like it hasn't come out of like this strange little socket in the wall and the floor. And the ceilings are at least like 15 feet above you. So like there's quite a bit of headroom. But you do notice that much like some of the places on the chute, like the walls have this kind of gel-like quality to it. Like as you get close to them, you can even see that there's these, you're not exactly sure what they are, but you can see that there's like these chiseled rivulets in the door as well. But all of you could easily climb over top of it. Like there's enough space between like the ceiling and where this door has been stuck as it's not like been closed fully. You can probably climb over top of it if you all wanted to. I would say you also notice that there are some like sections of the walls themselves that look to have a panel not unlike what you saw the chute, but none of them seem to be reacting. Like you get the sense that there's probably not much power filtering through this structure, and like if any, it's like this faint little bit that might be leaking out here and there. So basically, I just need mobility tests from everybody if you want to climb over top.
Okay.
Scooter, can you boost me again?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll boost you.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Geralt, I imagine
Yes.
not trying to put you down or anything, but seeing as I imagine you work a desk a lot. You want me to give you a boost as well?
There is no insult taken from that comment. It's
Just trying to be
showing-
helpful, but don't want to step on you. You're the boss man.
That's just showing your logical nature. Yes, of course. Let's do it.
I'm very logical.
Yes.
Thank you for the boost, Scooter. I wouldn't have made it if it weren't for your boost, because I didn't roll any successes, but I got one success with the boost.
Okay. Did everyone pass? I think we had some extra successes too. So with
Yeah,
the
I got
extra
some
successes,
extras.
I haven't rolled yet. Let me do that now.
yeah, you're good.
So
You're
busy
good.
helping everybody
Success.
else.
Yeah, you all are able to climb over top of it one by one, giving each other like boosts as necessary. The wall itself, or the door itself, is quite sturdy, despite the fact that it's not like fully in place, and that it seems to be like half like extracted from a socket in the wall, like it's a socket door essentially, and half in the way. But you're able to climb over top of it, and you would be able to notice there is kind of a, like, it's not purely metal, but you can tell that there's like a coating over top of it that gives it a little bit of give. So it feels almost a little like bioengineered in some way. Yeah.
I got a follow-up question. As I'm climbing over the door, kind of looking at this thing, do I get any inclination of which direction this door would close? You said it's like a pocket door. Is it coming up from the ground, or?
Yeah, you think it kind of like kind of wheels up from the right hand side, and it sort of like slides out, and it's supposed to wheel upwards, and it just doesn't look like it made it all the way up.
Okay.
All right, so you pass through and over the door. You find yourselves in this long corridor, and you can see it's almost like there's these bulkhead ribs along the way. But as you move, you realize like there's no clear like blast doors or anything like that. But when you eventually make it to what looks like another large chamber that opens up in front of you, shining your lights and such, you can see that it's again enormous. The ceiling is almost imperceptible as you shine up, but you also notice that there's like a tiered area. Like when you're shining the lights out, you can see it's like there's a platform or a dais, and it's enormous. It takes up like half the room, but then there's even a second one higher than that. It almost creates this, and it's going up. It's like this ziggurat structure, and there's maybe 2 or 3 tiers of it before it stops, and that's kind of all you really get as you come in. And then you know that beyond it, like you think that the room sort of extends further. So.
I mean, part of me does not want to climb up there, but there's a part of me that feels like you go through the effort to build a goddamn ziggurat, there's some shit up there.
I would think so, like some kind of, like if I was going to build a ziggurat, you know what I put at the top of it?
Hi,
For me.
we are in fact live right now. We should be live right now. We're not in the right places. We're sorry. Internet's just not working. We're going to call it for tonight. Too many disconnects, too much lag. So if you can hear this, if you can see us, our apologies. We'll be back to Alien in a couple weeks. Let's come back in time to just do a couple closing plugs, and then we'll get on out of here so people can tell you the stuff that they're doing and where you can find them. So Chuck, go ahead and tell everybody where we can find DOK.
Defenders of Cobalt, twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt. Wednesdays, Night Below using DCC. Fridays, a Pathfinder 2nd edition. None of my players are here, so I can say it. The campaign, I finally named it The Vampire of Time and Space.
Ooh.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
That's
Queens
a
of
cool title.
Stone Age.
Yeah, I like it.
That's what I got.
Next on my current overlay is Maitre, currently playing the role of Michelle. Maitre, where can we find you on the internet?
My dear plays games on YouTube, where I make system agnostic content about tabletops that you should check out.
Perfect. Fantastic. Adam playing the role of Jeremy. What do you got going on with Cannon Otter?
Yeah, we've got, we're really close to being ready with the product. We're waiting on proofs for the book. We're ahead of schedule right now. Still doesn't mean that will be ahead of schedule for release, but it's possible. So still on track for late September, early October release, if not sooner. Come hang out in our Discord.
Fantastic. And yeah, we should have links for stuff. I think I'll check the description, make sure everything's there. And as for us, we are off tomorrow. Normally we play Frontier Scum on Tuesday, but Steven is on vacation. Fucking guy. So yeah, no game on Tuesday, but then a few of us here, Jeremy, myself, Melissa, will be back on Thursday with some Simbaroom. Friday, we got Warhammer 40k, Wrath and Glory. Saturday, no Call of Cthulhu this week, because as I've previously mentioned, Steven is on vacation, and fucking Long is on vacation. Dude doesn't... What is he vacating from? Like, honestly, but he's going to Hawaii. Or something like that. Wow. So we're off for that. So anyhow, but Simbaroom and Wrath and Glory this week. So we're good to go for that. Thanks for hanging out. For those of you who hung out and watched the stream, and if you watch this later, hopefully the edit was enough for you to follow. But we'll pick this up in a couple weeks. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.